So this video is put together specifically for you insurance agents that are looking for some important tips on developing an insurance website that generates leads that you can sell your insurance products to. So if you're in the process of building a website or you currently have a website, I'm going to give you some really important tips that I have personally put together to use in my agency and my websites. I'm going to actually show you on the screen some examples that I think will better help you get more results out of your ability and efforts to put together an insurance sales website. My name is David Duford, owner of Duford Insurance Group. I train and recruit agents nationally to sell things like final expense, Medicare, and annuities, both over the phone and face-to-face. So again, the topic of today's training is my 5 tips on how to put together a really good insurance website so that it converts more of your traffic into actually high-quality leads. So without further ado, I'm going to assume you kind of know why you would want to do a website. Gives great quality leads. You don't have to pay for them. There's a lot of advantages to it. I've been doing it a number of years for insurance sales, obviously for recruiting of agents as well. So I've developed a lot of experience in making a lot of mistakes along the way. And I'd like to give you some tips, I think, that will help you kind of put together a strategy in place. This isn't a complete list of everything you can do. It's kind of just a couple of things off the top of my head that made a big difference to pay attention to that most people just frankly aren't. So the first thing on the list here is to prominently display your quote form on every page. You see, one of the things you got to understand with the website design is that you have to have a call to action that's clearly obvious whenever a person visits your page. All good or highly converting insurance sales websites have some kind of conversion sliding sidebar or bar at the top where it's completely obvious what the person visiting the page has to do in order to request information. It's completely obvious, it's not hard to find, and it makes your ability to convert more leads a lot easier. So what I'm going to do, for example, here is show you a few options of how I do it, as well as some others in the business that do a great job at this too as well. So if you look at the screen here, you're going to see my website. It's buylifeinsuranceforburial.com. Here is the insurance quote on the right. This is the home page. You can see at the top here, there's a scrolling bar that goes down that says Get Quotes Now. Couldn't be any easier. Click that open and boom, the quote page pops up. Now, if you go to my blog and you start to read some of the blog posts there, so let me let it load. Let's take a look at this one here, 10 Steps to Getting Burial Insurance. You can see on the right here, there's a scrolling sidebar as you go down the page. It couldn't be any more easier for somebody at whatever point they're at to fill this out in order to request information. And if you see this, this digital version of the bar, it's the same thing at the top here. That's always following them, this thing up here. They can always request quotes. So like I said, this is really important that you guys do this. If you don't do this, you're not going to convert as much. If you make it too hard to do the job of conversion, you're just going to run into all sorts of problems. Just so you know, how do you get that quote form up? How do you set it up to make it do this? WPinsurance.org has got a great WordPress theme. I highly recommend it. I'm going to put the link below. It is an affiliate link, okay? But it makes a huge difference in getting results. And I would highly recommend that you pay the money to get the fee so that you can place this in your website and start kind of just leveraging what's already been proven to work. Okay, point number 2 is world-class content. So here's the thing, guys. The world of creating organic leads, if you're not trying to do purchase leads, let's say, or run ad campaigns on Facebook or Google, if you want to create an influx of organic leads, you got to say something that's entirely unique and special relative to the other options out there. In other words, you have to have world-class material and content. And if you don't do this, if you don't have the expectation of doing this going into this, you shouldn't even bother at all. Because with each passing year, there's more and more competition in the life insurance or even the insurance niche for people posting content up online that is really good. And if you don't put together high-quality, world-class content, you don't stand a chance of surviving. So what does world-class content look like? So let me show you an example. My friend in the business, Anthony Martin, is an absolute pro at developing world-class content, and he's been doing this a number of years. and has really incredible results. I did an interview with him. I'll try to remember to link it below, but he made $1 million a couple years just selling final expense over the phone with organic free leads. So what does world-class content look like? First of all, anything on choicemutual.com is a good representation of world-class content. So just look at anything. But specifically, if you look at the best burial insurance companies article here, you can read through this and you'll notice, I'll just quickly scroll through it, the amount of content and the detail into different companies. You can kind of see them flash for your screen, and then talk about the products themselves, how they work, the pretty visuals, the organization and putting this all together is just absolutely incredible, okay? This is what makes a quality website. Notice too on the right, you've got that scrolling sidebar, okay? Just like I mentioned prior to that, the exact number to call, etc. So you got to understand making content that people want to read that answers their questions is the solution, and doing it better than everybody else. If you can't do that, don't even bother, okay? So you've got to really put a lot of effort into creating world-class content if you want even a fighting chance at this business. Another thing you need to do, again, big mistake I made early on, is you've got to make your website mobile friendly. Our websites just simply are more and more with each passing day being accessed by mobile applications. I'll give you a couple of examples here. If we look on my website here, which is davidduford.com, you can see over here on the right side that the mobile phones accounts for 55% of the total people who have accessed the website. And then if we go over here to buy life insurance or burial, you can kind of see what they're doing here. The total sessions here off of mobile is 60%. And these are old people. These aren't young people that are looking for burial insurance, you know what I mean? So we've got to have a website that's mobile friendly. One of the easiest ways to see if your web page is mobile friendly is to either within WordPress to preview it as a mobile web page, or to do what I'm showing you here on the screen, which is where you press function F12 on your keyboard, and this will show you a outline of what this looks like on a responsive type of mobile phone. You can also select it here to be like iPhone X. What does it look like on iPhone X? iPad Pro. Kind of play with it. You know, I mean, if you just do a responsive, that should be good. It won't look like that, but you get the idea. It looked like what it was originally. So yeah, so that's really important, guys. If you want to get the most out of your web page, is to make it mobile friendly. If you don't make it mobile friendly, people will show up to the website and it'll look like just like a complete piece of trash. And people don't have any patience anymore for it. I mean, if they can't click on a link, if it's hard to scroll into and read, if it takes work to absorb the information, there's already 10 other websites that show up in a Google search. You'll just click on that instead, okay? So you can't discount the fact that you got to be mobile friendly. If you're not, don't even try. Utilization of video content. So I can speak and attest to this. It's really important. I think that if you put some video content out on your web page, it humanizes your ability to make a connection with your client. One of the most astounding things about YouTube I discovered being successful at it and creating my agency is that it makes you a celebrity to a certain extent. It separates what we otherwise regard people online as just words on a screen, not people, but it humanizes the interaction. And it makes it a lot less of a stressful occasion when you actually end up talking to your prospect. So a couple of ways I do it, I'll show you on the screen here. For example, on my website, I occasionally sprinkle videos from one of my pages over, but I also have videos like, for example, a Brad on here who works with us so people can meet the agents that work in my organization. I will on my personal website, davidduford.com, I'll put videos here and there. Again, just to humanize. Again, I'll pull up some options for you here so you can see. And again, you ultimately, you don't have to be huge on YouTube to be successful, but in the process of people checking you out, if they start to see videos and stuff, it just separates you from every single other agent, because most agents are too afraid to get out from behind the camera and do some actual recorded work. But you can see, like on my testimonial page, half of the content here is videos. testimonial videos, and people get to know you after about 2 or 3 of these, and they feel like they've known you. They're, you're relatable to them. It's a good experience. This is one of the best things I ever did in my personal business, and it's not just something relegated directly to selling insurance. It's directly relegated to anything. If you can create a human connection using video, it makes a huge difference. The last thing I'll mention on here is utilizing backlink building. Okay, one of the things, and this is what a lot of what Anthony Martin teaches, is that essentially what building a web page that delivers organic content, the way that you do that is by building world-class content. We've seen an example of that, but also building backlinks. Essentially what backlinks are evidence that you are a trustworthy source. The problem Google has is there's so many websites now that it has to organize the quality of the websites based off of content, but also on trustworthiness, especially related to topics like life insurance or insurance sales, these financial-based topics. So Google wants to show good content, but it wants to make sure what it's showing is trustworthy. Okay, it's a huge goal that Google has, because if it doesn't show trustworthy content regularly, users start to lose faith in Google and will go use another search engine. Okay, so how do we create trustworthiness? Well, the measurement stick that we have for that is what we call your domain rating. And that's essentially a judgment of how many other websites link to you. And the more that you can accumulate, the more that Google trusts you, and the higher your rankings on all of your pages will rise, because Google says this is a trustworthy website. It's proven to be trustworthy because other people volitionally link to that web page. And the more that there are, the higher your stuff will rank. This is one of the big mistakes I made early on in really all of my website development practices. I didn't categorize or make important the backlink side of this business. And it's one of those things that it is an outreach type of activity. It's something that you don't do, you don't just let happen. You've got to proactively build links with other websites. So for example, I'll kind of give you what I'm talking about here. If we go to a cool tool to use for this is called hrefs.com. I'll pull it up here in a second. There it is. And this is Anthony's website. And you can see his domain rating position. Is it here? Here, it's under backlink profile. You can see how his domain rating, he's purposely built over time. And the highest number is 100. And it gets harder and harder over time to get higher than into the upper echelons, but you want to progressively build this thing. And the higher it is, the better ranking you're going to do. You can also see referring domains. This is the number of domains that link back to Choice Mutual, Anthony's website. And this has progressively grown over time, which has contributed to this higher domain rating. And this is kind of the same thing I've done too. You can see my backlink profile. I really haven't done a lot of this. You can kind of see how this slacked on buy life insurance or burial. I've been doing some more progressive efforts towards it because it was good at one point and then really got away from doing it. And then I'll show you on my other website here, DavidDuford.com. I spent a lot of time building backlinks here because I wanted to rank a lot of topics on insurance sales, etc. And you can see I put a ton of effort into this, building the backlinks up really over the first part of the year, kind of slacked off and kind of am back at it now. So it's really important that you do this. One thing I'll say with the backlink thing, don't fall victim to paying for guest posts or paying for backlinks. You're going to get a lot of spam to do that. That's called black hat search engine optimization or black hat SEO. It is Google does not want you to cheat your way into building backlinks. They want you to do it legitimately. Okay, and we call that white hat SEO. You want to spend time doing that, and it's very simple to do that. One of the most common ways is to write guest posts for other blogs that will link you back. Another strategy to use is resource guides, where you create helpful resource guides and then post them or get links back to other from other websites that maybe specialize in it. Maybe you are, you're in a senior market and you want to talk about senior falls or senior concerns or stuff like that, and you find websites that resource and link back, those would be perfect prospects that will give you a link and then boost your domain rating higher. So these are a couple of strategies you can use. So these are really good. This is really the crux of what you want to accomplish. Again, just to summarize here, if you want to build a website that develops and sends you high quality organic leads, get a quote page that's prominently displayed on every page. I highly recommend WordPress, wpinsurance.org, and then also Ninja Quoter is really good too, to actually collect the quotes for you, to show the quotes and then send them to you. Make world-class content. Be the best at whatever particular topic you're considering writing. Number 3, make sure your design is mobile friendly. Again, if you use wpinsurance.org, it will automatically account for that and make it mobile friendly. Number 4, make sure that you use video when you can. Again, especially with you speaking, you explaining topics, that's going to help you connect your clients that much more. And then number 5, purposely build backlinks to increase your credibility, to increase your trust, so that Google will better rank your web page that much more. I hope you enjoyed this video and this content and got some value out of it. If you have any questions, comments about anything at all involved with building a website, please leave it below. Happy to do so and help you out. And if you're interested in possibly joining my organization, I've got links above and below. Just check them out. Otherwise, thank you so much for your time, guys, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.